Pixar's follow-up movie, A Bug's Life, is a good movie. This movie came out at a strange time, as in the US it came out a month after DreamWorks' first animated movie called Antz. Antz came out in October of 1998 and A Bug's Life was a month later, and was within the same weeks of DreamWorks' second animated movie, The Prince of Egypt. The UK had it differently, however. Antz was released in November of 1998 as usual, The Prince of Egypt was released in December of 1998, and A Bug's Life was released in February of 1999. This was a common thing for movies. Some films still get this treatment to this day, which is really annoying nowadays, as it's easy to get spoilers on something if it isn't even out in a certain country. I'll go into more of the issue about Antz and A Bug's Life later, so what's the story to A Bug's Life? A colony of ants collects pieces of different foods from plants near them and prepares the food for the grasshoppers soon arriving to the colony. One of the ants, Princess Ada, is freaking out about the whole thing, worrying that something will go wrong. One of the other ants, named Flick, played by Dave Foley, always comes up with ideas to make the process a lot faster and gets yelled at by everyone and thinks what Flick is doing is stupid and should just do it like everyone else. The only ant that sticks with Flick's decisions is the youngest princess of the family named Dot. The grasshoppers are about to arrive and all the ants quickly put the rest of the food down and makes it inside the anthill. But things go wrong as Flick accidentally causes the food the ants prepared to fall into the water. After the grasshoppers arrive knowing that there's no food, they crash down to where all the ants are, and their leader of the grasshoppers, named Hopper, played by Kevin Spacey, demands double the food they usually have and that they will be back by the end of the summer.
When the last leaf falls.
Flick gets a talk with the council about what he should do, and so Flick comes up with an idea of leaving the island and goes to find warrior bugs to come and fight. Flick gets gained the request and heads out to find bugs to save the colony. Meanwhile, some circus bugs are losing their touch and try one more show until they get fired. They go to a bug bar and come in contact with some bugs from the circus audience as they come fight the circus bugs. The circus bugs, on the other hand, make themselves look like warrior bugs by pretending to be an act of Robin Hood, especially in front of Flick, and he thinks that this is actually warrior bugs that he was looking for, which causes Flick to ask them to help him. As they agree to the job, and they head back to the colony and come up with a way to stop the grasshoppers. When I see people talking about the similarities of both A Bug's Life and Antz, the only thing I see being similar about both movies is that the main character is an ant and it's about a colony of ants. I see more differences in both films, like in Antz, there's a scene of war with all these other bugs, the cast having more celebrities than A Bug's Life which only had 2 at the time, the villain being another ant instead of a grasshopper, product placements in Antz when A Bug's Life had their own made up products, and of course the music and the animation being different in both movies. Another thing being their age ratings. Antz was a PG, while A Bug's Life was a rated U in the UK and rated G in the US. The main point I'm trying to say is that A Bug's Life and Antz are completely different movies. They may have a similar concept, but it doesn't mean the rest of the movie is the same. Plus, in my opinion, I think A Bug's Life is a better movie than Antz. It's not because I've known A Bug's Life longer and I've seen it more times than Antz, but I enjoyed A Bug's Life more as I found it more funny and I loved the characters. So I think the story is pretty good. Would I say it's better than Toy Story's? I kind of think it's just as good as the plot to Toy Story. The characters are greatly developed, especially characters like Flick, and the circus bugs pretending to be warrior bugs. My god, Hopper is a great villain. I was scared of him when I first saw him, and I still get a little bit of goosebumps even from how the character looks. I think the circus bugs are really funny. I'd say Heimlich is the best one. He steals the show. Even Hopper's brother, Molt, he's pretty funny too, and the person who plays him, Richard Kind, would later on go and voice other characters in Pixar films like a Van from Cars, the Bookworm in Toy Story 3, and Bing Bong from Inside Out. I'll save those movies later in this marathon. And of course, we have John Ratzenberger as P.G. Flea. John pretty much plays characters in all the Pixar movies, from Ham in Toy Story up to what is the most recent film in Pixar. And he does a really good job being the character as he normally does with his other roles that he gets in these other movies. The animation still holds up more than Toy Story, since the animation in this movie was a huge step up, and this is another thing that makes me like A Bug's Life more than Antz. While both films have really good animation, A Bug's Life takes the cake. Look at Hopper. Look at him. I will say though, I don't think the ants should be blue and light purple, as the ants are usually red or orange or something. So I'll give Antz that then. Happy now, DreamWorks? The score for A Bug's Life was done again by Randy Newman, and I love this movie's music as much as Toy Story. Overall, A Bug's Life is a great movie from Pixar, and another animated classic from the studio. Would I say it's better than Toy Story? No. Don't get me wrong, this is a great movie, but I've always found Toy Story to be a better movie. I will say that A Bug's Life has better animation, and the story is just as good, the characters are good, the voice acting is solid, the music is great, and it's funny. But Toy Story has that too, and some things that they did are a little bit better. Obviously, the animation was better in A Bug's Life and such, but again, Toy Story, I still have more enjoyment from it. A pretty decent follow-up to Toy Story, and another stepping stone in Pixar's legacy.